Hello and welcome to Anime Animosity. So, recently I started playing Tales of Berseria, and that got me thinking, if this game had an anime adaptation, would I still have bought and played it? Which then got me thinking about anime adaptations of games as a whole, and if they're worth watching over actually playing. Now, from where I stand, the answer is obvious. And as such, the short answer to that question is no. But it wouldn't be a very good video if, firstly, I only looked at this from my perspective, and if I only gave a short answer. However, even after thinking from more than one viewpoint, my answer stays pretty much the same. You should play the game over watching an anime adaptation. I wonder if that noise outside is being picked up. If it is, I'm sorry. So, if all you wanted was the final result, there you go. You can leave, but if you want the why alongside the long answer, then stick around for a short while. So, anime adaptations of 100+ hour JRPGs. These are the ones I can mostly understand not playing and just watching, and also not buying. JRPGs take a fucking huge amount of time. As I said, I'm playing Tales of Berseria right now. I've sunk around 40 hours in, and I'm like not even halfway through the story because of how I play with excessively grinding, because I find that fun for some reason. So I can understand why you'd sit down for 2 to 4 hours to watch an anime rather than sitting down for 100 to play a game. However, I still think that the game is the better experience of the story, and I'm most likely not alone in this stance. For example, the Persona series, specifically 3 through 5, as they have anime adaptations. The anime adaptations of these games are fine. They do a decent job of telling the story and giving the characters just about enough time to be fleshed out to some extent. However, due to not showing the social links, time spent increasing social stats, and a great majority of the dungeon crawl, the show is basically an adaptation of the story more than an adaptation of the game. But in all fairness, that makes sense. Who'd want to watch some fucking kid sit down and read to become smarter? Or eat some ramen to boost a plethora of stats on a rainy day? Although that does actually get adapted in the P4 anime. Anyway. Now, having not watched the Persona 5 anime, I can't mention specifics, but I assume the same problems are present there. And with the Persona 3 movies, basically all aspects that would make it seem like an adaptation of a game are just plain gone. Hence why I say that the shows are not substitutes for playing the games, and why you should play the games over simply watching the shows. It's a much better experience, and even though it takes up more of your time, I'd say it's worth more of your time. Now, using another series as an example, Tales of Zestiria, a game I haven't played and a show I haven't watched. So I can't say a whole lot of anything, but since from what I've heard the anime adaptation isn't terrible, but the game kind of is, in this case, maybe just watch the show. But what about anime adaptations of not so stupidly long time investments or mobile games? Well, that depends on the game. For mobile games, at least anime mobile games, they tend to be free, with a daily gameplay loop, and you can sink as much time into them as you feel like, whenever you want to. I mean, my current mobile gaming addiction is Arknights. I've been playing it since day one, and I've only taken 1-2 month break, not long after the first year anniversary, but that hasn't really meant I've not sunk too much time into this mobile game. It's kind of a problem. Someone please help me. These games also tend to be gacha, which can be a big turn-off to a lot of people. So I can understand not playing them and just watching a gambling addiction-free anime. Since they also tend to be free to play, stamina will cap the amount you can play each day, so you'll only experience the story in chunks instead of one long go if you binge the show, which is another reason to watch and not to play. The only downside of watching is that you don't get the satisfaction of collecting all those goddamn fucking PNGs, so that you can have more reason to keep playing the game, and some form of justification as to why you're playing this fucking game. Please help me. As for shorter games, well, it's up to you. If you like the gameplay, then play it, don't watch it. If you don't like the gameplay, then skip it and watch it. Just, that makes sense. So, all in all, whether or not you should play or watch is entirely up to the individual. Games aren't cheap. Trust me, I know. Pre-ordering Guilty Gear Strive hurt just a little bit. And on top of costing a decent amount, they also take up a lot of free time that a lot of people might not have. However, if you do have the money and the free time, in my opinion, there is no real reason not to play the game over watching the show. If you do, you're just being lazy. You piece of shit. That's a joke, I swear. I swear, it was meant to be sarcasm when I said that. And to close off, I'll answer the first question I posed in this video. If Tales of Berseria had an anime adaptation, would I still have bought and played it? Buy? Fuck yeah. It was £5 on sale, so why wouldn't I? I mean, that's a fucking bargain. Steam sales are a blessing from God, and I'm not religious. As for playing, well, probably not. Even after spending money on it. Yeah, I know, what a terrible spending habit I have. As to why I wouldn't, well, the main reason I play JRPGs is for the story. And if I'd already experienced that, I'd have less of an incentive to play the game and experience the story for a second time. No matter how fun mindlessly pushing buttons is. Because oh boy is that fun. The monkey within me screams. I just talked about mashing in the same, like, not breath, but same instance as buying a fighting game. Look, I swear I'm not a masher, fighting game community. But that's beside the point. Having said all that, I've been Animosity, you've been you, and I hope to catch you all next time for another video. Ta-ta for now.